Hey everybody, it's me, Jill, and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 13, Episode 13, Tapas and Tattletales. Well, I don't know what the end of last week was. I guess just previews for this week, but they definitely integrated it in a way that they made it seem like it was part of last week's episode. I think if you watched my recap, I was saying that it ended with like the screen going dark and then it said 24 hours later. And the ladies were already in Barcelona and they were having a dinner where there was conflict between Anne Marie and Crystal. So I thought that we were maybe going to pick up right there, but no, we're in LA. We haven't left yet. So I don't know what that was. Anyway, we're starting with a bunch of quick scenes of packing. Garcelle, Sutton, I'm not sure who else, but for sure those two are bringing Glam teams with. And Sutton is also bringing the ashes of her friend Merce Cunningham. I don't know Merce Cunningham. I guess he was a very famous and influential dancer choreographer. I don't know much about the dance world, but if you're in the dance world at all, you know who Merce Cunningham was. And I guess Sutton used to work for him. She must have been more than that because I don't know why she has his ashes. But in any case, she has had them for about 12 years waiting for a significant, meaningful place to spread them. So the dance company performed in Spain or something like that. I don't know. It has meaning. She's bringing him with to spread his ashes. We now see all the ladies at LAX and on the plane, and everyone's in good spirits, including Anne Marie and Crystal. Everyone's doing fine. They're all in their pajamas on the plane, and I don't know. Chiron shows us that Dorit's pajamas are like over $1,200 and that Crystal's are $7.99. They're not sure about that, but once they get to Barcelona, they all hop into a Sprinter van, and Sutton has a game for everyone about Sutton. And whoever gets the most questions right gets a prize. So the winner was Erica, which Sutton was surprised that it wasn't Garcelle, but in Garcelle's confessional, she's like, she might be my bestie, but I can't know everything about her. So Erica won, and the prize was a tiara from Sutton's store that says, "C'est moi," it's me, in French. I think when you walk into a room with a tiara on your head, the "it's me" is already implied. Anyway, they get to the Airbnb, and the house manager, whatever, she's showing the ladies around. It's like an old castle almost. It's over 700 years old. And as we learned last week, is haunted. Erica knew this before the woman even told everyone because I can smell spirits. Yeah, not the alcoholic kind. Although I'm sure she can smell those too. But no, she can smell the dead kind of spirits. So Dorit kind of freaks out. Anne Marie in her confessional is like, oh no, we all know who goes first in the horror movies. And Garcelle in her confessional said, between me and Anne Marie, I hope it's her. Yeah, Zoe, the house manager, she explains that she's never seen anything herself, but they're just like little people, but they're friendly. Yeah, everyone's trying to understand what she means by little people because it's not haunted by actual little people, but some sort of, I don't know what. The ladies in their confessionals are all trying to guess what they think these little people look like. Erica's like, what are they, gnomes? Yeah, the house is haunted by garden gnomes. So now all the Glam teams arrive at the house. And it is not just Garcelle and Sutton. I believe Erica and maybe Crystal also have Glam. Once again, I don't think Dorit and Kyle have Glam. Kyle, I feel like, does her own makeup a lot anyway. But Dorit used to not go anywhere without a team. I'm not sure. They're all getting ready for like just a late little snack of tapas and, some cocktails. And they're getting dressed. Dorit goes into Kyle's room and she's like, Kyle, what is all this? Oh my God, Kyle, it's dental floss. And Kyle's got all these like pleather dresses and saw these, like, I don't know. She's like, what? So what if it's hooker clothes? At least I don't dress like a widow from the 50s. And we see a shot of Dorit. Anyway, all the ladies go down to the garden area. It's late. It's like 11 o'clock. And I think Sutton and Crystal are the first two there. And then once all the ladies get there, they meet the chef. Storm is his name. And he's young and, very cute. In Garcelle's confessional, she said, Storm can reign all over me. Did I mention that he was young? Because he looks very young. Garcelle and Erica agree to tag team him. Sutton was also eyeballing him. I would like to emphasize once again, young. I don't know how old he is, but he looks like he's in his 20s. I would like the ladies to just back off of him for a second. Oh my God, what? Okay, they get to the table now, and Sutton introduces everyone to Merce at the dinner table. Everyone, I'd like you to meet Merce. She literally opens the box that holds the baggie that contains Merce's ashes. Opens it at the table to introduce him to everyone. Why? What are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to look at the ashes? Why did the box need to be opened? That's my point. Is that, like, respectful? It feels wrong. I mean, I'm all for quirky, but well, you know what? Who knows? Maybe Merce Cunningham would have loved it. He loved Sutton. She tells them that she worked for him for 6 years and they had a special bond. They must have, or she wouldn't have his ashes, right? Or some of them, or whatever. While Sutton is telling us this, we see a picture come up on the screen, and the chyron says, Sutton, 1994. Had there been no words, I would not know who this woman was. You could have told me it was a housewife, and I would not have guessed Sutton. You could have told me it was a housewife from Beverly Hills, and I wouldn't have guessed Sutton. So now Storm, serves the ladies their food, and while they're enjoying their orgasmic tapas, or maybe it's just the sight of Storm again, Anne-Marie tells everyone that she needs to get something off her chest. Here we go. She says, last weekend was a lot. A lot was said, and I can apologize for my part. Sutton and I talked, and I hope we're in a better place. Sutton agrees, and she goes, the esophagus stuff is fine. I just didn't like the lonely and insecure comment. Well, I have no idea what she's talking about. So we see a never-before-seen flashback to the Homeless Not Toothless Gala where Anne-Marie had said to the table, you know what? I'm going to wake up in the morning to my amazing children and my amazing husband and my amazing life. And thank God that I am not lonely and insecure. Garcelle's like, damn. Sutton goes, who is insecure and lonely? So now here today she goes, I did not like that. You have 3 divorcees at this table. And I will tell you, I feel like I was more lonely in my marriage. My husband worked a lot. He was gone. And when he did come home, he was tired. I felt lonelier when I was married. So you should not have used the word lonely. Anne-Marie's like, okay, I can own that. Garcelle also took offense to that comment because she's also single. Anne-Marie says, several of us were angry that night. I said things I wasn't proud of. I apologize for that, okay? I'm sorry I called you lonely. I'm sorry that what I said affected you. And I'm sorry I said lonely if it affected you, Erica. And Erica's like, okay. In Garcelle's confessional, she's like, if that's your apology, then don't apologize. Yeah, it wasn't exactly warm and fuzzy. And then Crystal says, calling me insecure, Anne-Marie, oh, we're going to get to you. Everyone's looking around like, whoa. Let's talk about the Crystal situation, Anne-Marie says. So the first time we met was at a mutual friend's house over the holidays. We see a picture of them. It says 1922. I know these ladies are old, but no. We see a picture from 2022. Anne-Marie goes on. The first thing Crystal says to me about this group of women was that you ladies were not intelligent. Garcelle's like, damn. Anne-Marie, nobody was educated and you're very shallow. Sorry. And Crystal goes, shallow and uneducated. There's silence. Dorit, shallow? And Sutton goes, well, she knows I'm educated, so I'm out of this group. And Garcelle's like, we're all educated. And then Sutton just starts laughing. She goes, I know, I'm kidding. Crystal's like, that's ridiculous. In Dorit's confessional, she does not, however, think that what Anne-Marie said was ridiculous. I think she believes what Anne-Marie said because she's hot. She is not happy. It kind of goes off on Crystal in her confessional there. Dorit goes, you're nowhere near more educated than the rest of us. By the way, child bride, while you were busy getting married at 12, the rest of us were building businesses and graduating college and doing things, to educate ourselves. Ouch. We see a picture of Crystal and Rob's wedding. She wasn't 12, but she was 24 and he was 45. So, a little bit of an age difference. Maybe Storm isn't off limits for the ladies. So Garcelle goes, did you say that? And Crystal's reply is, I would not say that to someone I just met. I do not feel that way. Okay. Is it just me, or do you guys think it's a little bit strange that Crystal didn't say, absolutely not, I did not say that? In her confessional, she says that's false and she never said that, although Bravo does give us some flashbacks to Crystal's first year, 2020, when she says in her confessional, these women are savvy, but clearly not highly educated. And then there's a couple other examples that Bravo shows us through the season where, Crystal did have a little bit of a high opinion of her intelligence over the other ladies, I think. But to me, it's more the way she answered that's a little sus, right? I would not say that to someone I just met. Okay, so are you saying you would say that to someone you knew well? I just think was a strange response. Anne-Marie's not done yet, though, you guys. She goes, and then you said to me that the ladies were fake socialites and that you were the only real socialite in the group. And I think Garcelle's like, I don't want to be a socialite. And Anne-Marie goes, exactly, nobody wants to be called a socialite. Okay, so then why would Crystal have said that then? That part doesn't make sense to me. The first part, there's a little ring of truth, but this doesn't make sense. So Crystal's like, have I ever called myself a socialite? Garcelle, no. Have I said that I'm very social? And Erica's like, yes. And Kyle goes, socialites don't say that they're socialites. And Crystal goes, that is correct. So kind of like, you're proving my point. Why would I say that? Because I really am one, I guess she's saying. And maybe she is, but it was weird. In Anne-Marie's confessional, she stands by what she said, that when she first met Crystal, she told her that the housewife ladies were shallow and uneducated. So it gets pretty heated now between Anne-Marie and Crystal. Anne-Marie tells Crystal she's acting like a hormonal teenager. And Sutton has to break it up by going, okay, don't make the little people come out. And that is when Anne-Marie would like a thank you from Crystal. Crystal asks, for what, Anne-Marie? For making you relevant. Anne-Marie is filled with a lot of tropes and a lot of these and not taglines, what am I trying to say? Like these sayings, she's full of them. And I think she wants to use them all, but they don't all apply. But definitely, I made you relevant. That is such a trope of these ladies saying to each other, right? Dorit suggests that they just put a pin in it. It's very late. We traveled. Let's get some sleep. As they're leaving, Anne-Marie comes up with another original one. Don't mistake my kindness for weakness. Which it didn't exactly make sense. And also, I feel like it backfired on her because Crystal ended up getting the better line. She says, when were you kind? which is true. So they all go to bed. Garcelle ends up sleeping in Sutton's room because she's kind of afraid of the little people. So the next morning at 10:30, everyone's just waking up. So usually these ladies are up by like 7, 8, but I think it must be the jet lag. Anyway, it's 10:30. They're just getting up now. Nobody slept well. Erica's like, I only slept 1 hour. And somebody else said, so did I. So Sutton goes to Crystal's room to chat with her, while Garcelle goes to Anne-Marie's room to chat with her. Oh, also, I think Dorit and Erica are the first ones ready to go for the day. So the two of them are like in the living room waiting for the others. And those two are kind of chatting as well. So with Garcelle and Anne-Marie says, she's not being truthful with the group, Garcelle. So for sure she said that? Anne-Marie. Garcelle, I do not lie. Okay, but you do, Anne-Marie. We know this. Or at the very least, you get things wrong. Because we know for a fact that you accused Crystal of saying that Sutton had an eating disorder. The eating disorder words came out of your mouth first. And you're not owning that. And I think you said it because it was really like 20 seconds later, I believe it said on the Chiron. I don't really trust you. I'm not saying that Crystal doesn't lie, but I know you do. In the room with Sutton and Crystal, Crystal's like, she's a lot. And Sutton said, she's calling you a liar to the whole group. And Crystal goes, yeah, but I don't believe anyone believes it, honestly. Ooh, I wouldn't be so sure of that. Wait till you see Dorit's confessional. Also now Dorit and Erica are chatting about it. Erica says to her, do you think that Crystal called us shallow and uneducated? And Dorit goes, well, I don't believe that Anne-Marie is just flat out making it up. Yeah, I mean, I have to agree. This is kind of what I said before. It feels like there's some basis for Anne-Marie to say this. And also, I questioned Crystal's response. I thought that it was a little bit odd. I wouldn't say that to someone I just met. Like, just say no. I didn't say that. So Sutton goes, is it okay for her to be calling you a liar? Crystal, no, it's ridiculous. And Sutton goes, then why are you letting her off the hook? And Crystal goes, the difference between us, Sutton, is you need someone to say, I didn't say that for you to feel better. I don't. I wouldn't want to be called a liar without defending myself more, and I don't think I would let the person that called me a liar get away with it unless it's true. Or there's an element of truth to it. That's what I think is going on. I think Crystal doesn't remember exactly what she said and suspects she might have said something similar, but would be shocked that she said it to someone she just met. That doesn't feel right. So I think there's something like that going on with Crystal, honestly. Side note, I have to say this. I have heard Erica, Kyle, Garcelle, and now Sutton call Anne-Marie Anna Marie. So I'm starting to question myself, you guys, but I can see how it's spelled, and it's spelled A-N-N-E. I pronounce that Anne, but now I don't know. I'm starting to question myself. Is it pronounced Anna Marie? I don't know. Okay, so everyone now is ready and they all meet in the same room, and Sutton's telling them, oh, we have a lot planned today. First, we're going to a church, and there's some joking about, some people need that more than others, ha ha ha. Okay, and they're going in 2 separate Sprinter vans. She says, we'll go in one, you guys go in the other, and everyone's like, okay. And then Erica says, I have some good news to share, and I think it's important, maybe for you, Crystal, to hear this. So she's reading this email she got that morning, saying that the 2 decisions by the district court regarding the earrings, the $750,000 earrings, which Erica brags are worth $1.2 million now. You know, the earrings. Apparently, her team has won their appeal on the earrings. And then we see this headline from Reality Blurb. Erica Jane wins appeal over $750,000 earrings after her diamonds were auctioned off to repay victims of Tom Girardi's fraud. What happens next? Yeah, so she tells them that the earrings never should have been taken from her because it cannot be proven that they were purchased with client money. So the ladies all congratulate her, but we get a bunch of flashbacks to how ugly she was about it when people were questioning her and why don't you just give the earrings to the victims, that kind of thing. Like she was fighting so hard to keep these earrings and all that and bragging about it. And you guys remember how ugly she was. Her point was that she kept saying, just wait, it hasn't been decided in the courts. We have to wait for the courts. So Erica is feeling very vindicated right now, even though I believe she said that it still has to go through another court. So I don't think it's quite a done deal yet, but she wants to celebrate the wins she's getting. Personally, I would still sell those earrings and give the money to the victims, the orphans and widows, but that's just me. I would wash my hands of anything that man gave me. You know what I mean? Oh, okay. So now in Garcelle's confessional, she basically says the same thing. Even though you're not guilty, she said, you're giving back to the victims. Just do it. It's good karma. Well, Erica is disappointed, to say the least, in the ladies' reaction. Even though they gave her congratulations, I guess it just wasn't heartfelt enough for her. And giving how vehemently they were fighting her last season about just say you're sorry, like show remorse. Like it was so frustrating. I just remember thinking she's either so incredibly afraid that any show of empathy looks like guilt, or she's just a horrible human being. Now, after this season where we see that she has to go to her therapist to learn what empathy is, maybe she just wasn't feeling empathetic, I guess. She could only feel sorry for herself in all of this. Anyway, Erica feels like this ruling is sort of an I told you so to the ladies who were insisting she show compassion, and she wishes that there was more of a, rallying around her with pats on the back of congratulations. She didn't get that. So now we are in the 2 Sprinter vans, and they're very beautiful, but scary, narrow, winding roads on the sides of a cliff. It looks frightening. It's one of my irrational fears. I think I talked about this before, that I have this irrational fear of being stranded in the ocean alone overnight. So like it's dark, maybe there's moonlight, but the water just looks black. There's nothing around me. And I'm just like treading water in the middle of the ocean. Weird, but so I have this other fear when we're driving, and I think I talked about it when my husband and I were looking at where we wanted to move to, and Asheville, North Carolina was one of the contenders. And so there's a lot of windy, we would look at house listings, and the houses in the mountains would be like kind of sometimes up these very narrow, twisty, turny roads with just a sheer drop off on the side. And I was pretty close to having a panic attack. As the passenger, it might have been better if I was driving, only because I'm in control of the vehicle. I think there's part of that, like as a passenger, I kept thinking, what if he slips off what if we slip off the side? Like, it's just such a weird fear. But anyway, that's what these roads kind of reminded me of. Anyway, it seemed like they're heading to that church first. It seemed like it was taking a while to get there. And in the car that Anne Marie was in, she just said, I can't turn around anymore, guys, because she was turning back to talk to Dorit, and Erica, I think, was in her car, because she was starting to feel a little sick. Well, in the other van, Crystal was starting to get very car sick. And then she's like, I have to get out. I have to get out. I need air. I have to get out. And Garcelle's going, we need to stop, you guys. We need to stop. And there's really, the road's so narrow. There was nowhere to get out. So they finally got to a little point where it was emergency stops only. And they stopped, and she got out and she's kind of like bent over, and I didn't know if she was going to throw up. She didn't, but I guess, I don't know, she felt a little better. They were like, we're very close to the church. So she gets back in, they get to the church, and she's not feeling well. She gets out again. Somebody said her hands were swollen. Garcelle said something like her veins were popping out. I don't know if the veins in her hands or her face or something. But once they got there, Garcelle was talking to Anne Marie about it because she's a nurse. And she's like, what does it mean when your veins are popping out? And Anne Marie goes, what are you talking about? And she goes, Crystal. So Anne Marie now goes over to her. She's kind of checking on her. And Kyle calls 911. And that is where this episode ends. Yeah, maybe it'll turn out to be nothing, but it will have brought Anne Marie and Crystal closer together. I don't know. But yeah, that's it for me. I really appreciate you guys being here. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have yet to subscribe to my channel, please consider doing so. Also, if you click on the bell icon, you'll be notified every time I post something new here on my channel. I talked about this on my recap for Salt Lake City, but I know not every one of you guys watches that. I've decided I'm not going to be covering Vanderpump Rules this season, although I will be watching it and I may check in with you guys if something interesting happens. Maybe I'll do like a once a month check-in for where we are with it, but I'm not going to be doing weekly recaps. As I said there, Rachel, whatever you want to call her, isn't coming back. Sandoval and Ariana, I don't even think have scenes together, or they don't speak to each other or something. I'm just not sure what it's going to be like. I can't quite picture it. And I've been trying to cut back, so I'm not going to bother with it. Like I said, I'll check in if something big happens or interesting. But I will be finishing out Sister Wives. There are 4 more episodes of that. 2 of Christine's wedding and 2 that are kind of look backs with the series. So I've heard good things about those. I haven't watched any of that yet, so I'm excited. And I will be covering those 4. And then that one will be ending too. So I think after that, I'll just be finishing out here with Beverly Hills and New Jersey. Is that what comes up next for me? I think so. I think that's the next one I do. So that'll probably be my next. But anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. For my friends who shop at Amazon, I am an Amazon affiliate. So if you go through one of the links in the description box below this video, before you do your Amazon shopping, I will get a small credit for those purchases. I know some of you guys are going through all of those extra steps for me, and I really, really appreciate it. That's it for me. I love you guys, and I will see you next week. Bye.